Are we live? Yes, we are. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let me know if you hear my washer in the background because it's finishing up here in a bit. Yeah, I just wanted to do a little hangout, a little impromptu live. I was originally going to film my Lonesome Dove review, but time got away from me. I had all my notes prepped, and my wife gets home soon, and I don't like filming things when she's here. So yeah, instead of doing a Lonesome Dove review today, why not a live stream? So how's everyone doing? Oh, it's been so hot. California, March. It's supposed to be winter still, but now it's spring, it's summer. It was 94 yesterday. So I'm boiling right now and I'm drinking cold coffee. So hey Thomas, happy beautiful day. Yeah, let me tell you, it is beautiful. I've been doing my workouts out in the backyard here in the sun, and it's been a great start to every day. Hey Thomas, how are you? Rick from India. I'm doing good, Rick. It's been busy. I've been really busy lately. Preoccupied life. Feels like it's just been go, go, go. So that's why I'm still late on my Lonesome Dove review, which I know some of you are looking forward to. Yeah, I just want to make sure it's thorough and it's well thought out, and I at least get most of my thoughts on camera rather than half-heart it. So that's why I'm a little late on it. And I've also been working on a short film, which I originally wanted it to be out tomorrow, but the brain of an artist, I'm just constantly thinking of ideas and visual shots that I can grab. So that short film is going to take a little longer, and I really wanted you guys to see that. But I did post some screen grabs of it. You can check those out. Yeah. Hi, how are you? Doing good. Just finished The Great Hunt earlier today. Oh, that was a good book. How you feeling about it? Good afternoon, everyone. Twice Born by Grace, how are you doing? Goodness, we got 28 people here already? What the heck? How's everyone doing? Goodness. Hey man, hope you're well. I'm doing well. It's just, again, it's been go, go, go here, and it's boiling hot here. We live out on the coast, which it's a little cooler than inland California, but still 80, 85 degrees. Not used to it. I agree that a real connection is required to proceed through a book and let the review out. Yeah. I don't want to just rush it. And I am taking a page out of Tudor Ramble's book. I don't know if you're familiar with their channel. They're really big booktube channel, Richard and Austin. The way they review books, they kind of categorize things with, they do a spoiler-free kind of pitch, and then they talk about, I think, the emotional state of the book, thought-provoking, characters, and plot. And I'm kind of breaking down my review very much like that. And I want to give each subject the time they deserve. So that review might be an hour long. I don't know. Granted, I don't have the benefit of talking with someone else about the book. I don't get questions asked to me. about the book. So I'm kind of having to really dig deep in my mind and ask myself these questions, which I love. But it would be nice to have someone talk to about the book and review the book together. Hey, Thomas, won't be on too long. My lunch is almost over. Just wanted to say, hey, thank you for saying hey. It means a lot. I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi, Thomas. Glad to catch you live. I'm glad you're here, Redbird. The screen grabs look beautiful. Love the diversity and composition coming from a magazine photog. Nice. Well, thank you. Hey, man, I'm planning to start Knife of Dreams soon. That you don't just slam that on me. That's huge. How you feeling about it? I know book 10 might have been a little, but Knife of Dreams, wow. What a book. And it made me sad that when I finished it, or actually when I was just reading it, I took my time with it because I knew these were the last words of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. So I cherish that book a lot, and I hope you enjoy it. I was not too familiar before, but surely we'll check them out. Sounds interesting. Yeah, I did a live stream with Tudor Ramble, and they're great. I want to do another live stream with them and talk specifically about Lonesome Dove. And I want to do a live stream with Mike from Mike's Book Reviews. I want to do a live stream with Josh Reads Books. And there was one other I threw on there. And speaking of live streams, I might be doing a live stream with David from Four Corners of the Page. It's been way too long since I've hung out with him. Hi, Thomas. I'm glad that you're feeling good. Is your wife all right as well? Greetings. Wife is doing great. We're just chugging along. We got our first wedding of the season to document this weekend, so we're gearing up for that. Hey, Thomas, just sending loads of love to you and your partner. Your outlook on reading slow and just enjoying life in general makes me self-reflect and be a better person, so thank you so much. Rose, that means a lot. It's an honor to, just be an encourager for you in reading. And I guess in life, which I think that's wonderful. I wish I had more friends reading books. Yeah, me too. I'm very thankful the friends that I've met on Booktube and the conversations I've been able to have with you guys in the comments. But it'd be nice to have that one friend to get coffee with and really dive into books. I have a few, thankfully. I have a few really good friends that were able to get coffee and talk about books. And I think that's what matters. I don't need 50 friends. It's nice to just have 2 and really dive in. Good friend of mine, he finished Les Miserables. I mispronounced the book, I'm sure, without the French accent, but yeah, he said that was his second time reading the book, and I think it took him a year to read it. So, yeah, talk about a book that you just want to sit with and reflect. And that's why I've just taken my sweet time with my review of Lonesome Dove and gathering my thoughts, because that book is my favorite book of all time. And it's going to stay with me forever. And I really want to make sure I honor it properly in my review. On a side note, love the Life Mag photo frame behind. Oh yeah, grew up going through Life Mag. Yeah, that's my wife. She brought that from her old place. So thank her for that style. Hey man, I actually started my own book club at work. You've been an inspiration for this. That's awesome. What book are you reading first? Or what books have you read? Makes me so happy that you're planning to read Red Rising. Yeah, I want to read Red Rising. Sadly, the past week and a half, I feel like it's gotten pushed back, but I do want to give it a shot. In a little bit, I will talk about some of the books that I want to read and a book that I actually finished reading, as well as a book I just started. So we'll get to that in a bit. Let me just try to catch up with the chat. I'm always behind in the chat here. Hello from Kashmir. Bless you. I hated Pet Sematary, by the way. What Stephen King book should I read as a beginner? Well, let me just get right to it. I think you should read The Shining, because that's what I'm reading right now. I just started it last night. This was his second or third book he ever wrote, which is incredible, and it's a classic. My wife and I recently finished watching Twin Peaks. We finished the third season last week. And talk about a show that's going to stick with me forever. And I looked up a bunch of articles and went on Reddit asking, what books should I read if I love Twin Peaks? Or what books have those vibes? And this was one of them. We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Shirley Jackson. This was her last book before she passed. And what an amazing book. What an amazing, prolific writer. The maturity in her writing style, I love it so much. So I read this, loved it. And this was also one of the books that was recommended. If I love Twin Peaks, you should read this. And right below that, The Shining. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I know the movie is completely different from the book, so that'll be interesting, because I have seen the movie, but I have not read the book. Hello, everyone. Recently found your channel, Thomas, and became an instant fan of your video style. Wow, that means a lot. I appreciate you, and I'm glad you found your way here. I'm glad you're hearing this live too. Yeah, the slog wasn't as bad as people said, but defo gonna take my time on the last 4 Wheel of Time books. Yeah, man, I agree, big time. The slog wasn't that big of an issue for me. It was actually one of my favorite parts of Wheel of Time. Whereas, the last 4 books, I couldn't put them down. Yet I was able to slow down a bit with the slog, 7 through 10. Because they were paced really slow, whereas 11 through 14 is just like boom, 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 raising the stakes bit by bit. Did I watch the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer? I'm so excited. I have not. I'm glad you're excited. I'm not the biggest superhero movie guy, especially nowadays. I think the last superhero movie I was pumped about was The Batman. And the moment I saw The Batman, I initially loved it because, you got the hype coming out of the theater and it was like, oh my gosh, it's the best thing ever. And then I saw it again and again, and I thought about it more and more and more. And that movie just felt very one note. Like if you held a piano, one note, and you just held that piano note the whole time. No change. It's very slow. So slow that you really felt how slow it was. And we'll see. Maybe this Spider-Man movie will be nice. I don't know. They totally incorporated Tobey's Spider-Man version. Stoked to see Punisher as well in the movie. See, I'm not that well versed in the lore of Spider-Man, but that'll be something to check out. Hello. Do you know any good vampire books that are standalones? Dracula doesn't count. Actually, Twice Born by Grace, I think I got one for you. While I was reading this one, because this was kind of a ghost story, very ambiguous ghost story. And it's horror in a very interesting light. So I looked up a few horror books, and I think this is one of them. I don't know if it's a standalone or not. It's called Let the Right One In, right here. I know it involves vampires, and it sounded very intriguing to me. So go check that one out. Dear gosh, I am beyond behind the chat. But we talk about a trailer. Talk about a trailer. I'm very much against trailers. And sadly, I couldn't hold back. I told myself, I'm not going to watch Dune 3, the trailer. I'm just going to go in blind. But I just love Denny so much, and I watched it once, and that's it. I'm not watching it again. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to look at any other trailers. I'm just going in blind somewhat. The trailer looked amazing. I'm just thankful. I initially wanted to watch the trailer because I wanted to see visually how it looked. Because Greg Fraser, the DP, director of photography, who did part 1 and part 2, is no longer in part 3 because he's doing the Beatles docudramas. So that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see visually how Dune Part 3 looked, and my gosh, Denny, man, he has a vision, and I trust it so much. I trust it so much. Saw your love letter to Star Wars short video recently, and it struck me. Could your entry into sci-fi books be a Star Wars novel? You already know lots about the characters and planets and lore. That would be fun. The only issue with Star Wars is there's so many books that I just cannot. I don't know where to start. Granted, I do know there's the Thrawn trilogy, which I've heard wonderful things about, so that might be something, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Can't remember if you've already read Dune. If you haven't, you should. If you have you seen the Dune trailer, part 3? Yes, I have seen the trailer. I have not read Dune yet. I want to read Dune this year, maybe. But I might still just go see Dune Part 3 first before I read the book. We'll see. We'll see. Have you read any Guy Gavriel K? Any thoughts? Not yet. Not yet, but I plan on it. The Shining Bangs. I hear good things about it. I've always said this lately about Stephen King being adult Goosebumps. He's not very scary. Pet Cemetery, Carrie, what other books? Salem's Lot. They're fun, but I want to be scared. I want to be uncomfortable. And the only book that made me uncomfortable was Misery. So I'm hoping The Shining is really gonna scare the pants off me. And I mean, so far, I absolutely love the way he writes. It flows so well. It's nothing crazy. It's not a Pulitzer Prize winning type style of writing. It's not poetic. It's just clever and witty. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. And the cool thing is, yeah, this is like a 600-page book, but look at the print. Look at that. That's big print. Knowing me, this will take me 7 months to read, but I think I could get this done soon. We'll see. Starting reading in 2025, but still have not fallen in love with books. Yeah, that happens. I'm glad you're starting to read. That's awesome. But hopefully you find a book that really hits good for you and really speaks to you. Because Name of the Wind was that book for me that really got the ball rolling. So I'm really behind on the chat, as usual. I haven't read many Stephen King books, but one of the few I read was The Shining. Really enjoyed it, even though I'm not even a big horror reader. Have you or will you plan on reading Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson? Apologies if you've already have said this. I want to read it, okay? But I keep pushing it off. Right now, I don't want to read it. Right now, I have no plans to read it. I don't want to read fantasy right now. However, when I do go back into fantasy, I want to read the trilogy by Tad Williams, Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. That's going to be my return to fantasy. And slowly, in the back of my mind, it's calling me. It's calling me. It's kind of, I don't know. Sooner than later, I might be back into fantasy. Love The Shining, found it much better than most of his later works. It has more explorative language, I feel. Ooh, I like that. Thank you, Rick. Hello, Thomas. I recently finished The Shining. It is my favorite by King that I've read. I'm excited now. Get me really hyped. Dune 3 looks dope. I know. It looks amazing. I'm trying to calm down here. Just getting in. Did you finish Pines? Sadly, I kind of want to talk about this in one of my videos, but I'll touch on it here. I feel like after you read a book that changes your life or changes the way you look at books, such as Lonesome Dove, it's going to take a couple books or even attempts at those books to get you back into reading. Because right now, I just have not really been reading as much. It took like a few days off, maybe a week. I don't know. I tried Pines. I got about 50, 60 pages in. I thought it was calling me. I thought it was for me. But I just put it down. And I didn't want to read it. And then I felt like this was calling me. And I read it. I ate it up. And I felt like this was the book that is a good transition book into something bigger. Though The Shining isn't as big, maybe this will be a nice palate cleanser. So I think it takes a couple books to kind of get into the next deep read. Because right now I don't want to read too many deep books. Although this was pretty deep because it's very ambiguous in its language. It allows you to come up with your own conclusions at the end of it. And I enjoy that a lot about Shirley Jackson. Have to read Dune Messiah now. I'm going to put off reading the books until I've seen part 3. It's worth it. It's worth it. What is worth it? I'm sure whatever book you're reading, it is worth it. The Let the Right One In movie is great. Even the US remake has its positives. Oh, okay, good. Let the Right One In is great. You should also check out the TV miniseries The Shining. Better than Kubrick. Whoa, wait, there's a miniseries? I didn't even know that. Huh. Kenobi is a great jumping point for Star Wars. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the show because the show, oof. Dune is a tough read. We'll see. I had a live stream with Man Carrying Thing. I don't know if you've heard of that little YouTuber. He said Dune is going to be a relatively easy read for me. At least kind of knowing how I read and what I've read before. With Star Wars novels, you got to start with the OG Thrawn trilogy. Exactly. That's exactly what I've been told. And that's probably what I'll be doing. You'll enjoy the books of Dune. I am now on Chapter House Dune, and I have enjoyed every single one so far. Awesome. God, Emperor of Dune being my favorite. Very cool. Hello, people. Hello. In general, do you prefer short or long books? I think the more I'm reading, especially this year, I enjoy longer books because I get to settle in. I get to sit with the characters. And I just know that I'm in for a journey, whether it's a deep journey or not. I'm in it. This is a 600-page book right here. That's not short. Granted, the print is massive, like a Harry Potter book, but I'm in for a journey. This was a short book. However, the language was deeper. Again, ambiguous. Allowing you to really think on each word that was written, and to interpret things the way you'd want to interpret them. So, funny you say that. Joanna reads. She's a booktuber, and I've done a few live streams with her. She's wonderful. She just posted a video on books that you could read in a day. There are short books that I know you can read in a day. Granted, depending on if they're deep or surface level, who knows? I feel like if something is short yet deep, I wouldn't want to read that in a day. However, if it's like a Stephen King book, probably read that in a few days. Nothing that's, I don't think it's going to be that thought-provoking. I'm not, nothing against Stephen King, but I just think his language is not as just thought-provoking. Yeah. At least in my experience reading King, I feel like his writing is just fun, popcorn type book, and I just enjoy it. He's a comfort author to me, and I know that sounds kind of ironic because he's a horror author, but man, I'm really excited to dive into The Shining because it's fun, it's exciting. His writing style is familiar to me that I know I'm not going to have to use a lot of bandwidth. I'm not going to have to use my brain a whole lot to interpret, what did he mean by this? What is this word? What is that, You kidding me? I am so far behind. We'll catch up. Dune Part 3 is going to be interesting because they might incorporate some more elements. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. All right, can you hear me? Okay, Dune Part 3, they might incorporate some more elements from the later books in the series, not just Dune Messiah. Yeah, I heard they might incorporate Children of Dune as well. I read Nocturnes by Kaizo Ishiguro, a short story collection. Basically, nothing happened, and I couldn't stop reading. I think that's a sign to try his novels. Very cool. I like that. I like when books feel like they don't have plot, but so much is happening. If you read Replay by Ken Grimwood, it's amazing and supposedly inspired the premise of the movie Groundhog's Day. No, I've never heard of that. Hello, everyone. Hope all is well. All is well here. How are you doing, Mark? Ooh. Oh, yeah, I forgot about those. Also, Tom's Crossing. That's the gentleman who did, oh my gosh, I'm blanking. House of Leaves. That, I think, incorporates vampires. Any older fantasy books on the future TBR? If so, what's the oldest you'd consider going? Right now, in my reading plans for fantasy would be Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, and that was in the 1980s. That trilogy inspired George R.R. Martin with A Song of Ice and Fire. So that's the old kind of fantasy books that I want to read, as well as this one. Whoa, right here. This is a standalone fantasy book, The King of Elfland's Daughter by Lord Dun something. Anyways, yeah, this is 1924, I think, 1920 something. This was even before Lord of the Rings. So that's something. Sometimes you are not ready for certain books yet. At least that's what I've experienced a few times. Exactly. There's books that I know I want to read that I'm not in the mood for or that I'm not ready for. And that's okay. That's the beauty of reading. We're not in a rush. We're not in a race to get all these books in. You know, I know life is short and some of us feel like it's fleeting, but one day at a time, one book at a time. And for that matter, one page at a time. Starting the Count of Monte Cristo. This is going to be a journey. Love it. After a few nights of watching pretty bad movies, I won't say which ones because those are controversial. My wife and I really want to watch Count of Monte Cristo, the old one with Guy Pearce. That'll be a nice rebound. Holy cow. There's a massive spider right here. I'll be right back. Golly. I was reading on the couch the other day, and holy cow, this guy's fast. Oh. Hold up. All right, we're back. Holy cow. Wow. Yeah, we have a lot of spiders here. That's just what life is like on the coast. I was reading a book on the couch the other day. It's actually The Shining. And I just felt something in the corner of my eye kind of move in between the cushions. It was a spider. I have to take care of all the spiders here because my wife, she freaks out. Oh man, Dunsany's what I'm reading right now. Love it. Whoa, there it is. What's up, friends? We need to do a live stream. Once I get my Lonesome Dove review out, we're talking. I can't wait to talk to you about this. I've been wanting to talk to you about Lonesome Dove for quite some time. And then I need to read Lives of Locke Lamora. Then we could talk about that too. Dune is slow, deep, complicated by the sounds of it. You'll eat that up. Oh yeah. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I couldn't get into Dune. Yeah, it's not for everyone. I honestly loved all of Frank Herbert's Dune books. They're so sick. That's awesome. Reading Grapes of Wrath right now. It's actually an amazing read. Bleak, but so good. My family is full of farmed too, so it's hitting home. Very cool. Farmers, yes. I had to read that twice. Also, a couple other books that I'd like to read eventually, sooner than later. Definitely after The Shining, I want to read 5 Decembers. Thank you to Man Carrying Thing. He immediately recommended this book. This is a book that, I did actually. The funny thing is, I didn't even realize the cover has a half-naked woman. It's funny, I don't even really notice these things. They're just like, ah. But yeah, I hear it's a nitty-gritty detective novel, and it sounds like right up my alley. And it takes place over 5 Decembers in the midst of World War II. Oh, I want to read this so bad. That's something I definitely want to read soon. Pillars of Earth. Will Wheaton just narrated The Body by Stephen King. He played one of the characters from Stand By Me. Ooh, that's cool. I have to check that one out. think you'll ever try to read Something Wicked This Way Comes Again, or when you DNF a book? Oh, when I DNF a book, it's usually that I'm not ready for that book right now, or I wasn't feeling it. So put it down, try it again later. Cool. Something Wicked This Way Comes, I'll definitely read. Definitely want to try again and get through that. I just felt a calling to read Lonesome Dove, and nothing swayed me from that. I pushed through Lonesome Dove all the way through, and I loved it. So I'll definitely get into Something Wicked This Way Comes. Same thing with Pines. I don't want to throw away Pines. Also, Dungeon Crawler Carl, I might be done with, just because I'm really against reading series. I don't want to read book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, book 5. Like, I can't. Book 8 is coming out in March or May. I can't remember. But I don't want to keep reading a book series that just is continually reading or being written. And yeah, so I'm definitely done with Dungeon Crawler Carl. There's one other book that I want to give another shot. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on it. It's a classic, sci-fi, British humor. I just had it. I'm going to get it. Oh, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I want to read that again. I just read a horror book called Spider. Well, look at that. Look at that. Well, that spider's gone. IWOT just announced more Wheel of Time adaptations. What? Oh boy, I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, we do. Oh yes. We're gonna do it. We're gonna have a fun live stream. Oh, and Dennis Johnson. I think you'll love his books. Thing is, do I watch Train Dreams first? Really want to watch that film. Really, really want to watch that. Nearing the end of Mistborn trilogy, and my initial assessment was changed drastically. What a brilliant series. Geez, it gets better with every book. That's awesome. I just had a comment on my review of Mistborn, and it was quite strong toward me, focusing on the man, not the message, and my words. And I wish I could redo that video, and I might revisit it. I might revisit my Mistborn review. I might kind of react to it and provide a little more context. People will probably still hate me for it, but I want to be able to explain myself a little more, because that was a time in the infancy of my channel where I was kind of finding my voice, my style, how I wanted to really express my thoughts on a book. Even body language. My body language in that review, oof. It's not casual. It's not comfortable. It looks very standoffish. And yeah, I can totally see why people have the words that they say. Anyways, read the book first. Whoa. But definitely watch the film. It was brilliant. I've been trying to interview Clint Bentley. We'll see if I can pull it off. Oh, you can pull it off. I'm really against reading series, says the wheel. I know. But the thing is, I'm against reading a series post Wheel of Time. Again, Wheel of Time took 2 years of my life. I didn't really take many breaks from it. So I'm just hesitant in diving into another 7-book, 10-book series, especially book series that have not been finished. I'm just enjoying my time right now with books that are self-contained. And I'd like to finish a trilogy for once. I started Sun Eater, which is a 7-book series, and I started the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb. I have 2 books left of that. When am I going to return to that? I don't know. Nothing's calling me back for that. So we'll see. We will see. But right now, I'm just not having, I don't have that outside pressure pushing me towards certain books and certain series. I'm very thankful I'm enjoying my reading and enjoying the books that I am reading. I don't know. Anyways. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is awesome, but I do fear a lot of the humor is very British. Not to say others won't get it, but we do have a weird sense of humor over here. The thing is about British humor, for me, it works on the screen. It works in movies. It works with pauses. It works with when you're allowed that freedom for that moment to breathe. So when I can see that on screen, that humor will hit. It'll land for me. Whereas on the page, I don't know. I don't know. So maybe on my second go around it'll work. If not, I think that's just a me problem. Tried reading Mistborn 3 times, but could not move past the first 30 pages or so. Love the Way of Kings, though. I'm glad you liked Way of Kings. I'm just not wanting to read a book that's 1,000 pages long right now. Have you given the Discworld series a chance? Apparently they are mostly standalones, but with some sub-series. I'd love to. I just have a lot of books right now, and if my wife sees me buying, a handful of other books, it's probably not going to be happy about that. I loved your last video on Lonesome Dove. I've been wanting to read fantasy, but find it difficult as a beginner. Any tips? Also, your take on ebooks. That's awesome. Have you read Lonesome Dove? Because that's my favorite book of all time. Fantasy is tough, but not really. Because if you're not into fantasy, there's certain gateways that might be helpful. If you, I'd always recommend Harry Potter because it's just kind of fun. Recommend The Hobbit, and I'd even recommend Brandon Sanderson. Although I'm not the biggest fan, he's a gateway for people. He gets people in to that genre. He writes fantasy in a very cinematic way, a very action-packed, fun way that I think can get readers into fantasy. But if you are a fan of Lonesome Dove and you want something a little more thought-provoking, a little more literary, then I'd do Lord of the Rings. Even though I've only read the first half of that book years ago, I still liked it. Definitely excited to read Lord of the Rings officially sooner or later in my life. But yeah. Trust of the Emerald Sea, exactly. That's sitting on my shelf here. I got that from my wife. I heard that. Toby, a fan of the channel, he said that was the book that Brandon Sanderson actually tried tried writing. So that's something to give a shot, a try at. Yes, Zach, this is my good friend who we get coffee together. We talk books, and you finished Les Miserables. Very, very, gosh, we got to get coffee soon. Very soon. So, if you want a good popcorny blend of fantasy and 80s action, then I'd recommend the Circle Trilogy by Ted Dekker. First book is called Black. There you have it. There you have it. Also, real quick, my thoughts on ebooks. I think they're great. I think they help compartmentalize larger books. I think they're easy to do night reading because you just kind of hold it up like this. You don't need a lamp. You don't need a light source. easy to travel with. Although for me, I just love that physical book, that physical feel. I love the pages, you know? Those are my thoughts. Hi, Thomas. Thanks for all your Booktube content. Have you read manga, and what are your thoughts on it? I have not read manga, so sadly, I don't really have thoughts. I've read graphic novels, like the Batman novels, like Dark Victory, Long Halloween, Batman Year One, I think is what it's called. Walking Dead. Love those, but I have not read manga, so I don't really have many thoughts. I don't hear Ted Decker very often on Booktube. Now, there's a lot of books I don't hear about on Booktube. That's why I love Man Carrying Thing, Jake. He has so many recommendations that you just don't hear. There's a lot of mainstream books that are constantly being pushed on Booktube, whereas I feel like Jake is really reading what he wants to read, and when he recommends books or talks about them, they're surprising to us because we've never really heard of them, or at least heard of them talked about on Booktube as much. Ooh, just finished Streets of Laredo, the sequel to Lonesome Dove. It's so bleak, but at the same time, it's still really damn good. Yeah, I really, really want to read his books, more of them. I think for my birthday, I'm going to ask for all of those. So, if I had a PO box, I would ask you guys, hey, if you wanted to get that for my birthday, give me all those books. I'm kidding. I think I'll ask my sister for those books because she likes buying me books. But right now, I want Lonesome Dove to stand on its own 2 feet for a while. I don't want to revisit that world yet or those characters. So soon or later, but when that time comes, I'll be ready to return to that. And I hear they're great books, so that'll be fun. I'm 77% of the way through Man in Rome. It's almost 1,100 pages. Felt like I've been reading it forever. Great political maneuvering all throughout. Brilliant stuff. Definitely recommend it. What is the elevator pitch for that? Never really heard of it. Thought about reading any Twin Peaks books. None of them are novels exactly, but there's a lot of... After finishing the series, I don't want to read the books because the books, from what I hear, are Mark Frost, the writer, but it's Mark Frost's fan fiction. It's him tying loose ends that I think should be kept ambiguous. There are certain things answered that I felt shouldn't be answered. So I'm going to stay away from those because I want Twin Peaks to sit with me for years to come. I want to be thinking about it. I want to be chewing on it like a piece of gum that has lost its flavor. And I just want to think about it and ponder it and revisit the series eventually down the line and come to my own conclusions. Flesh out the series, Laura Palmer's Diary. Exactly. Yeah, I've heard of those. I do want to listen to Agent Cooper's recordings. I think that's on Spotify. That'd be fun. Hey, Thomas, have you started watching anime? No, I have not. We just finished Twin Peaks, so we're not really diving into any TV shows or anything yet. I think we are going to be diving back into Resident Evil Requiem. But outside of that, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Wow, for once, I'm actually caught up on the chat. I'm really excited about this. Another book that I really want to read, The Stranger, by Albert Camus, I think is his name. This is another book We talk about Joanna Reed's. I haven't watched the video yet, so I'd love to hear what she has to say about that, about books that you can read in a day. She just posted a video on it. This looks like a book you can read in a day or a weekend. However, it just feels like that kind of book you want to sit with for a little bit, chew on it, take your time with it. Even though it's 120 pages, I still want to, metabolize it as much as I can. I heard it's a great book. I saw an interview about it. Can't remember who, but he talked about this as it's amazing what an author can do with just 120 pages. Doesn't have to be any longer than that or even shorter. It gets the job done in this amount of time. That's powerful. And that's really cool when an author can do that. Whereas I was talking with my friend Abe. We got coffee the other day. By the way, I did a couple videos with him on this channel. We talked about fantasy primarily, and I definitely want to get him back on this channel. And we talked about just series, books that are constantly, authors that are constantly writing books and continuing a series over and over and just on and on. Whereas maybe it'd just be good to be a trilogy. Why does it have to be 7 books, 10 books, 15 books? So it's fun to see authors write books like this that are done in this amount, not needing a second book to continue the story. And Abe mentioned that, well, fantasy's different. Fantasy kind of calls for series to continue on. I agree with him here and there. I can see why it's important to stay in a world and how we want to stay in that world, to enjoy and savor that world building and to sit with the characters longer or meet new characters, explore a different side of that fantasy world. But I don't know. That's why it's kind of interesting with, I don't know, Lord of the Rings. It's just 3 volumes. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? First Man in Rome. Historical fiction about the rise of Marius and Sulla. Alan from the Library of Alexandrian was reading. Oh, okay. Sounds cool. A movie you would want as a book. Requiem for a Dream would be a dope book. A movie I would want as a book. Oh my gosh, that's tough. A movie I would want as a book. Prisoners. Sicario. La La Land. Oh, La La Land, that'd be a good one. Like, give me a 800-page book, La La Land. What's going on in their mind? Thinking about acting and jazz and music and art and passion and the love they have. Ooh, that'd be a good one. Last book I read in a day was No Exit by Taylor Adams. It's set during a 24-hour period. Ooh, that's fun. Twin Peaks feels like that one piece of popcorn that gets stuck between your teeth, and just when you think you've moved on, it breaks your brain again, and you fixate on it. Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's good. Semi agree with that sentiment, but if you don't wrap up the story, the characters and the world stagnate, a la Blighttown from Dark Souls. So, which sentiment, Zach? Do you want series to be prolonged or kind of wrapped up relatively within like a trilogy or something? Read Recursion by Blake Crouch last. Oh, read last was 4 out of 5 for me. Okay. Hi, all. How you doing? If you are an island and you only have 5 slots of media, shows, book, game, anime to bring. Ooh, that's a good one. Every time I have a guest on my channel for like a live stream, I always ask, what are your desert island books? You can pick 3 or 5 or something like that. This is a good one. Oh man. Well, Breath of the Wild, and I think Slay the Spire, Slay the Spire 2 maybe for games. Shows, that's tough. I'd rather bring books. I need to think about this. Why was the genre of fantasy been hit so brutally hard by the woke virus? I have no idea. I don't know what. I haven't read too much of fantasy to really, you know, agree or disagree on that. I think fantasy has just been hit with, from my perspective, has just been hit with, oh, we need to write another book. Boom, boom, boom. And it's all just kind of surface level. There's not a lot of thought put into the book. Authors are not taking their time with it. You know, something I always bring up with Donna Tartt. She likes to take her time writing a book. That's the virus that I'm worried about, is people just writing to get it out. Sit with it. We could wait. Just sit with it. Take your time on it. We'll be there. It's okay. I'd rather it be perfect and great than okay. That's my issue with fantasy. With just, okay, got to get a book 7 out, book 8, book 9, book 10. I mean, sure, if it's flowing, it's flowing. Great, get it out, fine. But I'm in the more methodical, quality over quantity kind of vibe. Did you enjoy Realm of Elderlings or Wheel of Time more so far? Wheel of Time more, because I've only read one Realm of Elderlings book. So once I read more of that, yeah. Ooh, Elden Ring. Oh, that's a good one. I'd probably bring Lonesome Dove again, because I already want to reread that book. That'd definitely be something. I think you gotta have your story planned out before you start writing it. I've seen series and books just sort of meander because the author doesn't have an ending planned. Very good point. Very good point. Zach, I need to get you on the channel. You need to come over, make some coffee. We'll talk about books, because, man, you have a wonderful mind that I think people need to, hear. The book I mentioned also won the Pulitzer Award, if that's anything to you. The Pulitzer is everything to me now. After reading Lonesome Dove, I truly understand what the Pulitzer Prize badge, what it means, what it stands for. There's a level of trust, immense trust, that I have going into a book when I see that badge. Real quick, I might have missed your recommendation. What book was it that you recommended that has the Pulitzer? Can you reiterate that? I'd love to get that written down. Will you play Resident Evil Requiem? Yeah, we're gonna do that. I might ask my wife if I want to dive in. Right now, I think we're a few hours in, not that far, but it so far it's perfect. Yeah, same. I would like to get to that one at some point myself. Now that you guys are talking to yourselves. Anyways, got to get back to work, man. Let's get coffee soon. Yeah, man. Let's get coffee and shout at the clouds like old men. I am sad. Oh, sure. Oh, okay. Discover the executioners. Let me write that down. Let me look it up. Discovered the execution song. Okay. Take a look at that. 1979 Pulitzer Prize winning true life novel. Wow. Okay. Found your channel recently. Love the vibes. Do your thing. Appreciate you, man. Glad you found your way here. What makes Name of the Wind so special? I'm 3/4, but it becomes some slow. Will the story unfold more at the ending or in book 2? I don't want to give anything away, but it's what made Name of the Wind so special is because it's not like your other fantasy books. It's not built with your 3-act structure where you have your conflict and then you have the high and the low and then the resolution. It's very mundane and it's very day to day, whereas there's no plot. You're living, you're watching this character live life and struggle each and every day. And that's why that book is so special to me, because it made me realize, oh, books don't have to be this organized and this predictable in its structure. So it might not be for you, and that's okay, because I think there's going to be books out there for everyone. And for me, Name of the Wind was the one that started it all for me. And oh, look at this. Name of the Wind is almost perfect because genuinely imperfect. Big fan. Also, thoughts on Kings of Wild, please. I appreciate the donation. I'm definitely going to buy a bag of coffee with it. Thank you. I have not read Kings of the Wild. I've heard of it though. So be something to check out. Like Oscar winner certified, the Pulitzer Prize winner certification is just a useless tag, at least to me anyway. To me, it carries much more weight. Whereas I do think the Oscar nowadays does not. Back then, I think it did, especially when you look at how film has just evolved over time and what people value in a film and what people kind of put up, on a pedestal. Thomas, if you had to share your 2 cents about something else other than books, what would it be? Oh boy. Well, first thing that comes to mind, I look at my bananas over here. I love bananas. I could eat bananas all day, every day. I eat probably 2 or 3 bananas a day if they're good to eat. What else other than books? Oh goodness. I've been playing a lot of Slay the Spire 2. That recently came out, and that's been a lot of fun. Probably my favorite card game. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons with my friends, and it's been about a week and a half since we've played, and they've been texting me. when are we going to play next? So I really want to see what happens next. Yeah, right now, got nothing else. But love the question, because I love talking about other things other than books. And I also want to review other things or talk about other things on my channel, like movies and like video games. I just haven't. Life's been crazy. And there's been a few shifts in our life lately, and it's just been, there's been an adjustment. And life is still great, still good, but we're navigating a new life chapter. And, um, I just haven't had a lot of time to make a video. I want to get out that Lonesome Dove review. I promise you, it's coming out soon. I also want to do shorts, like just quick little book recommendations. One for The Last Unicorn, one for Lonesome Dove, books I love. I want to provide my recommendations in a short-term, context. So that'd be fun. I've got a lot of work to do on my business. So it's just tough to navigate life, navigate work, Booktube, YouTube. But I'm taking it one day at a time. And I appreciate all of you who don't give up on me. I know that sounds kind of weird, but like, you stick around. Even if I haven't posted in 11 days, you're still here. And I appreciate that. It means a lot. Chemex or V60? I don't think I've used a V60, but I love a Chemex. That's what got me started with the pour over. My question about choosing to bring 5 media was about which 5 would you choose. It can be anything, like for me, Hollow Knight, Dungeon Crawler Carl book, etc. Yeah, I know. I love that. I definitely think Lonesome Dove would be one of the books. The games would definitely be Slay the Spire / Slay the Spire 2 and Breath of the Wild, because those have so much replayability. I'd love to bring Lord of the Rings, something I haven't read that I know I would love to reread over and over and over again. So that's Lonesome Dove, Lord of the Rings, Slay the Spire 2, and Breath of the Wild. So I only have one left. Has my wife called me? Hold up. Anyways, I think we're about done here. Kind of wanted to just do a little hour-long live stream. Gotta go. It's getting late. Well, have a good one. I appreciate you. Thank you for answering my question. I like Name of the Wind. It reads perfect when going to bed and reading some chapters. I think it's a cozy book. It really is a cozy book. It really is. Have you read Count of Monte Cristo High? Hey, I haven't, but let me tell you, it's on my list. It's on my radar. But blinking way off in the distance. Different ocean. We'll get to it when we get to it. Have you ever tried playing Vampire the Masquerade tabletop game? No, but there is a channel that I've learned a lot about tabletop games, and they play Vampire Masquerade. It's called Black Lodge Games. Great guys. They just teach a lot about emergent storytelling and issues that have come up in modern Dungeons and Dragons in that system. And I've heard about this system, Vampire. So be something to, look into. Unpopular opinion. I enjoyed the mundane slice of life feel of Wheel of Time more than the earlier books. I agree. I think I loved the mundane of the slog more than anything. And I think it made the lead up to these big battles and these big fights have that much more impact. Been a good one. Hi, Thomas. First time catching you live. I can't wait to see Lonesome Dove review. I I can't wait too. I appreciate you stopping by. Sadly, I am hopping off here in just a few, but I'm glad you stopped by. Love the community as always. Have an awesome day, peeps. Yeah, have an awesome day. Yeah, whatever you guys are drinking, cup of coffee, maybe some electrolytes. That's what I'm drinking. So hot. It's a beautiful day. Might go to the beach. Go on a walk. Really, really cannot wait to dive into The Shining. Really looking forward to it. I've missed Stephen King. His writing is just so much fun. And yes, the short film. That is going to take a little more time. I'm hoping next week, maybe. There is a scene that I want to shoot, but it's got to be during sunrise. And we just haven't had the time to really go out there and shoot it. But I definitely want to do it. Yeah. I want this short film to be perfect. So it might be a week, might be 2 weeks before it gets out, but I really want it to hit emotionally. Ooh, loved your conversation with man carrying thing. Yeah, me too. Jake was a delight. Just down to earth. He's has all these books that he's read and just great back and forth. Totally understand the life adjustment situation. I found it good to read poetry this past week. It means I can read some poems from a poetry book, put the book down, dip in, dip out. Love that, Aaron. Love that. My 2 cents, other than books, are experiencing adulthood and being just with me. I'm 22, and at present, I am just yearning for some company, but I'm not alone. I have books. Yeah, it's I think something we should always do when we're young, that 18 to 25 age range. It's easy to feel like you're missing out if you don't have a lot of friends or or you don't fit in, or maybe you've lost some friends from high school. It's easy to feel alone. I think it's important to be alone during those years because you really get to experience life through your own lens and not trying to fill this void with other people and other relationships and with other with love and romance. So I think it's great. I know it might seem sad that you might be alone at this time, but I think it's very important because you get to learn and grow, learn about yourself, fill in your shoes before these next chapters of life, take shape. So enjoy the books, enjoy those walks to the coffee shop, enjoy those quiet moments because it'll prepare you to, enjoy those next chapters. Well, let's end on that. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. I really, really wanted to get out my Lonesome Dove review tomorrow, but I just didn't want to rush it. So definitely, I promise next week my review for Lonesome Dove will be out, and it'll be great. I appreciate you all for tuning in and hanging out, asking questions, and sharing book recommendations. It's been great. So, cheers, and